Before we get into anything, please look at where I'm scripting from, by the way. Now, today I will be putting myself up against a game character that apparently everybody sims over for I don't even know what kind of fucking reason. But as you may know, a short while ago or time ago, I made a meme out of Jane Doe from ZZZ. So Zenless Zone Zero or Zone Z, I don't know. I always get the two confused. So like Zenless Zone or whatever the fuck, I don't know. I don't care. The only name I remember is Godzilla. Okay, leave me alone. So today I will answer the most least asked question by everyone on my channel. Who would win in a fight? The hybrid rat lady or the human tank? Before we do anything, I must first set up the disclaimer that I don't play ZZZ anymore. So I will be having a probably not a ZZZ game overlay, or maybe one at all. I probably just have a PowerPoint, and then I will be relying on wikis or info I can trust and find online. And now for the rules. First of all, we will be fighting on equal ground because if not, we're gonna be either fighting 2 meters down in seawater, where I would take the advantage, obviously, and or in a room that's on fire, which again I also have an advantage in, and I'm not gonna be in anywhere where Jane has an advantage by my standards. Like I'm not gonna be there. Realistically, I can't see myself like, just walking around random places. So, and also, there will be no weapons allowed, or else it's gonna be a real bad disaster for Jane. As I'm gonna put it up on screen, I could keep her at sword's length the whole time if I really wanted to, if we had weapons. Next up, which is probably arguably the most important, is there will be no hitting in the tits or in the balls because that's just gonna end the fight. That's a one shot from any side, so not permissible. And we're also gonna assume I am not two or more Smirnoff Black Ices down, or else my dumbass will not be fighting her and will probably be more like Привет, Moshiri. Du bist schön. But like otherwise than that, that's probably the only factors that's gonna affect this fight. So another clarification I would like to address is that for this fight, I will be putting her and I in a world where her speed, which is her main thing in the game, is unaffected. But we will take into consideration that drawbacks and what's the thing? Pros and cons will affect each other and will not have like game mechanics in sake of like fairness for my dumbass because I'm just gonna get absolutely demolished. So in her case, she will be very fast, but she will lose a bit of like durability. And for in my case, I will not be able to high speed chase her around everywhere, but I will be like a tank. I hit hard, I can take a hit, but to be fair, I'm a normal guy going up against an anime woman. The fuck you want me to do, bro? Now for size, I'm gonna display this on screen. I'm gonna let you understand where this is going. So I'm gonna explain this obviously because some people may just be like audio only in the background. So let me buff you in, little guys here. I am 180 centimeters, okay, and Jane's wiki puts her at 170 centimeters, which I have a height advantage. So that also gives me the range ability. And the hell is it? I just pulled something off from under my desk. What the fuck? Yo, this is a problem, but okay. So, and for weight, I did not actually find a weight for her, so I'm gonna estimate her at around 56 kg because she doesn't look that heavy. She doesn't look fat. But I am also stacking up at around 61 kg because I was like 59 and then went to the gym in these past few weeks. Weeks? No, hold on. Days, and then all of a sudden, boom! I'm back to 61 kg just like that. And not even with the pump either. I lost my pump. And then like, god damn, who knows? So therefore, next up we have strength. Now, honestly, I can already move 2.1 or 2.2 times my own body weight on like a daily basis. So I already take the strength. Plus, I'm a bigger creature. Um, but sadly, I have not yet seen anything about Jane, like being able to use strength to get out of situations. Normally, she uses charm, deceptiveness, and speed and gets out of it. So, due to a significant lack of information, you all know where this is going. Durability. Now, ZZZ characters, as far as I've seen, specializes on dodging and shit, which mean doesn't not mean they're not durable in any way. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm just saying if she doesn't get hit too much, she lacks one thing that I have a lot of, and that is conditioning, or maybe would even like fear a hit from like an enemy. Because like if you're not used to getting hit, you're gonna obviously fear the hit. And looking at a character model, I just have to say one thing: that clones do act as armor, and she's fighting in a tight jacket, in torn stockings and combat boots, by the way. And I'm fighting in probably my leather jacket and some cargo pants. That's obviously more protected. And now on top of that, why is she so sexualized? I'm gonna get this out of the way. Like, why? What is the whole point of this, bro? Y'all are proving me correct in like the fan art video and all the upcoming videos and theories. I literally already scripting by the time of this video. So anyway, aside for that, I'm obviously have the conditioning. I've sparred. I've done shit. I'm telling you, this is statistics. that I'm not gonna show because it's kind of personal. But believe me, I don't think Jane can take me down. Like my friend can confirm this. Friend, no. Why'd I betray him like that? No, he's not a friend. My homie, my brother can confirm me. Can confirm me. No, confirm for me in the comment section. Jeez, English. Weaknesses. Now, this is one of the most important segments to go over. And you may be thinking, this to win this is probably bad news. Let me tell you something. It's actually quite the opposite. Now, let's begin with Jane. By looking at her build, I noticed something, okay? The lack of scarring and bruises. And, like, obviously, she looks soft and smooth for obvious reasons. Fuck. But, like, um, which can only mean two things. Either she hasn't been hit hard enough, or she has an insanely good healing process. And let me tell you, for me, who has a really good healing process, then still visible scars left on me. I'm sorry. It's gonna happen. There's always gonna be a few. But like noticed other things aside for this is that she's got two big ears on the top of her head. Where else her ears gonna be, dumbass? Okay, fine. She's got two ears, alright? And I noticed that they're very floppy and very rat like. Or mouse like, whatever. So that's one. Because I one good yoink on this, like you know what I'm saying? She's gonna be in a lot of pain, especially if I get like she gets close to me. And the second is the tail. Now, I'm gonna go over the tail later on and how it's actually a benefit to her in a sense. But the tail in nature is an holy fuck, extended spinal cord that has a lot of nerve endings in it, and that makes it extremely sensitive. So one pull from my grip strength, you know what I'm saying? She's gonna be in some pain or feeling some other shit. I don't know what kind of nerves and where they're joined to, and like whatever. It's a coin flip whether I arouse her or I make her feel pain. That's a coin flip. But going back into her opponent, which is me, I don't really anything you can damage. Like my friend literally said, friend again, no, he's a brother. My brother literally said, and I quote, I hit you and I take damage. This right there is Minecraft Thorn achievements in real life. Under no circumstance is that useless. And the only way I can see Jane actually like in a clinch winning against me is if she grabs my hair, especially at the back of my head, and like tries to like control my neck and head through it. But like that's one point compared to like the two that she has. And plus, I'm also bigger and stronger, so she has to get in a certain zone, which I will discuss later. I think we can all see who's taking this edge as well. This is who can defend from the opponent better. Now let's start with Jane. She obviously is very, 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 very fast. probably faster than me even, and like, and she has higher speed and can simply dance out of my range. So, and she can just do that and just sit there, right? Or and she can just catch her breath or just like try her luck on some psychological warfare or whatever she wants to do. Really, there's not much can do. Like, I'm not gonna chase her down and shit. Now, aside for that, Jane also has arms, legs, a tail. That tail, I told you it was gonna come in handy. And she can wrap that tail around the arm, a leg, and consider that limb useless, bro. Consider my limb gone because a tail, if you remember what I said, nerve endings, I don't think I said muscles, but it has muscles and it has a spinal cord. That thing probably is slightly weaker than my forearm. So take into consideration that it's also longer and more flexible than my forearm, and she practically has a biological whip. Like, what am I gonna do against that? She can just restrain an arm and just like, try and give me grin to fucking move it, and then she also has the tail to wrap around arguably the worst spot if it lands, which is a neck, bro. Neck has the windpipe, and the windpipe is arguably the most important shit ever. If the windpipe is out, it affects stamina, but like we'll get to that later. Stamina, okay? Now, but the problem with her is, for me, I have this thing called a durable frame and a literal kill zone around me, where if she goes, she risks getting absolutely pummeled the shit out of her. Because I'm not gonna stand there and be like, oh no, she's wrapping her tail around my neck. Like, no, I'm gonna be fighting her. I'm gonna be hitting her like, "Whoosh!" You know what I'm saying? So she's gonna take damage. And in that kill zone, she has to deal with the Muay Thai, which is knees, elbows, kicks, fucking punches. And this is me. If you get close enough, I'm gonna start biting, bro. I am gonna bite some shit, bro. And I don't care. This is a fight for survival, bro. I don't give a damn. But considering her speed just lets her stay away from me, I have to. Fighting throughout the years has always been attacking and angles and all of that shit. Think shields, tanks, fighter jets, artillery. It's all just like pretty much how you can attack your enemy and how, when, where, and why. Now let's put this here. Attack methods for Jane consists of two arms, two legs, and a tail, and hyperspeed. For me, it's two legs, two arms, and just being a tank. And since Jane is faster than me, I think you know who's taking this. Damn, she ruined my streak of four, and now she's getting a streak of two. This is kind of bad for your boy, not gonna lie. Now we have speed. Now I'm fast, don't get me wrong. I could run 100 meters in about 12 seconds, and I could actually do, I think it was 400 meters in 12. Hold on, it was 400 meters five times in 12 minutes. So don't get me wrong. Yeah, I'm fast. But Jane, whew, I'm gonna cut the short and just say I'm not beating that, bro. Speed is good to have, but these next two is probably more important than that. Now, agility. Now, one thing I need to do is let me pull up that jacket picture again. What do you see? That is, I believe, a large in Europe and American standards. So if I'm wide enough? No, wide enough to fill it, then that's gonna slow me down a lot. I'm not gonna be agile unless I'm fucking crab walking sideways. Then even then, I've seen my arm, bro. That's not gonna be good. So I'm big, obviously, and that's a problem. But Jane, on the other hand, oh, that's fine. She's small, she's fast, and she also has that damn tail. I can like counterbalance her. Let's say she wants to like all of a sudden just instantaneously turn, right? All she gotta do is flick the tail the way she wants to turn, flip her body, and voila, she's turned. Just like that. I'm not winning that, bruh. That's no. Maneuverability will be split into two sections. We have low speed and high speed maneuverability. Low speed, honestly, I can turn on a dime. If I'm not moving forward, I can easily, instantaneously pull a fucking 360 and look behind me. So that I'm literally taking it, no hesitation. But at high speed is where it comes to a problem here. Because if you think about it, like I said in the agility, I am not agile. So trying to turn me at high speeds, my maneuverability will be awful, bro. You good luck. But Jane, like I said, even taking the game's third person camera or whatever cinematic effects, she has seemed to be very, very maneuverable, very, very agile, and very, very fast. Arguably, one of the most important sections of this stamina. Now, stamina is important because whoever runs out of energy mid fight is gonna fall over and fucking die. So, like I said, like I said in speed, I can run a 400 meter 6 times in 12 minutes. And I also was able to run an 8K and still have fuel in my tank to go another 4 kilometers. But sadly, my mom called me home, so I had to run around 2 kilometers back home, then up a flight of stairs. So all in all, I ran 10 kilometers and still had energy left. Um, and I can spot my homie for a long time in tropical climates. Like oof, until we like understood that we're both tanky and we both needed like water. So we're gonna fucking fall over because of water loss. But like, then there's Jane, who's built for high speed lunges, extreme speed, maneuverability, burst speed. I said bursting. No, no, don't. My brain is forming mental images. Stop. Okay, that's horrible. No, absolutely not. And she can also recharge her energy. Like I said in defense, she can just run away from me and just wait for me to like wear myself out, while she just sits there, has a whole picnic before I arrive. You get the gist here. Like again, this is ending us in another stability. This factor will be important because it decides who actually is easier to tip over for the opponent. Let's start with Jane, alright? She has a tail. Again, the damn fucking tail, by the way. So annoying. I can shift the center of gravity at will. So I can literally be almost toppling her over. All of a sudden, that tail just moves, and now she's more stable than me, bro. That's not fair. But then again, she also has high speed evasion. So again, I won't be able to catch her very easily. And she also seems to be more bottom heavy. I don't mean that in the most disrespect. I mean like literally, look at her character, bro. All of her weight is in those thighs. You ain't convincing me otherwise. Okay, and she can even have 3 points of contact on the ground. Her 2 feet and put a tail, and she becomes a fucking tripod. Okay, that damn fucking tail again, bro. Man, that shit's annoying as fuck. But then there's me, okay, who's been doing physical activity like climbing, rowing, somewhat levels of basketball my whole life, doing bullshit as a kid, and that gave me a strong core from a very young age. And also the thigh footing is one, and of course my especially since I do calisthenics and gym in my late teens, which I technically still am in, but fuck that, whatever. Yeah, I think safe to say we're both stable. But Jane being shorter, having a tail, more bottom heavy than me, yeah, that's fight methodology. Now I can pretty much sum this up into Jane is a fighter jet, right? She goes boom, zoom, and she hits me and gets out with insane precision, speed, and like I don't know, some other whatever the fuck. And then they have me, who's literally like a mouse tank, alright? I'm just there. I deal heavy damage, and I'm not that fast, and but I can hit really, really hard. And my chest and back is pretty much armored, so she's gonna have to try and flank me and hit me on the sides, which is considering how a man is built. Chest and back is obviously bigger than his sides. Like, come on, bro. So she has a limited way, like, of how to inflict maximum damage on me. But then if I land a hit any of her areas, especially like her thighs. Especially like look at that shit. That shit does not have that much definition, which can only lead to above around like 12 to 15% body fat, which means I don't even need a punch. A slap or claw or scratch, and that shit is gonna sting like hard. And not to mention, I punch, and like, fat is actually full of nerve endings. So if I land one good punch and that boom, that limb is gonna hurt like so much. And also another thing that comes into play is the Muay Thai low kicks, the oblique kicks, calf kicks, leg kicks. Those things can turn anyone's legs from functional to spaghetti in one hit. So Jane is extremely fragile when it comes to fighting me. But then again, I'm extremely clumsy to fighting her. It's like trying to swat a fly on crack. I'm not gonna be able to hit her, but she's not gonna be able to damage me unless she like continuously goes, coming around like Sonic did to Eggman in that one scene, which I'm not gonna put in this video, not because I don't want to. Fuck you. And I also have this extra thing, which is Moy Duke, which is a form of, I think it's like from my Thai way. You walk forward at the enemy, and you just absorb hits. You keep hitting them. You don't stop. You just pressure them into a corner. That right there could be a lethal thing if Jane gets caught in it. So don't come after me in this one, but intelligence and combat intelligence as well. Now, this is actually very, very hard for me to actually like get because all Jane seems to do on camera is act like a femme fatale, flirt, and make jokes. Honestly, Kayla's not much different than me actually. I make jokes, I fool around, except the only thing I flirt with is armored vehicles. So there's a problem here. There's like a little divide. So technically speaking, we are the same. And look at my stats on the. I think I put it on the left. Yeah, and as we can see, my IQ is pretty high. Not flexing or anything, but like, I'm out there, bro. And then like, I already said that Jane and I is kind of similar. So in that concept, would we be on around the same intelligence? Also, she has cop training, and I have martial art training. So, and I also steal random soldier techniques I find online. Like, hey, you put it online, bro. You expect people not to try that shit? Only for like the Spetsnaz though, not for anything else. Russian, I still can't do the backflip tomahawk thing though. I'm working on it. Hey, don't worry, I'll get there. But like, so I'm gonna call. Just read the damn slide. Like I'm hopeless in this one. Intimidation. Jane is not intimidating in the slightest, bro. I am sorry. She is flirty and gives off that femme fatale, like I said before. And compare that to me, who's bigger than her. And I'm not even gonna explain this. I actually have an entire explanation here. I'm just gonna show you the damn picture. So Jane here, for adaptability, is honestly adapted to fighting in one singular place, which is called the Hollow. I think ZZZ fans, if you're watching this, please correct me. I feel free to correct me on any of this, by the way. Like I haven't played in like so long. I played for like 1 hour of the game, and I was like, that's not for me, bro. I'm going back to War Thunder. That's how it was. So Jane, yeah, sure, it's probably very hard to find a hollow, but against a specific set of enemies you already know. But then we have me on the other hand, who shout out to my sparring partner and brother from another mother, homie of the fighting collaboration of the only five of us that's in the group, where we were able to beat the shit out of each other in water, on a rock, in water, at my house, also in my house, literally like 27 degrees Celsius, the heat, which is tropical, and while being distracted by the other homie who's fucking fooling around with the fucking camera, making us both laugh. So like, and we still were able to throw hits at each other like men. So okay, motivation. Why do I sound so happy saying that? Okay, carry on. Motivation will somewhat be a useful thing to have in this instance because of since Jane will be dealing with me and my friends can already see where this is going. But because of my music that I would definitely will play, she is probably gonna have a lot of motivation to whoop my ass. And here's why. Here's the music that'll motivate any woman to whoop my ass. Here are samples. We have these songs and an honorable mention to Sabaton. Yeah, actually, I would have played I Emperor, but like maybe. I think I love fucking away the enemy's brain even more. So I would say, yeah, she takes that, and also that there is this thing, right? I read like a sort of theory that states that there's an ego boost for the woman to like, win or like tame like a wild dude or some shit. I don't fucking know. What do we call them? Big guys? I don't know. Manly dude? I don't know what you call them. Like I just call them men, and the rest is boys. Of course. I mean, just look at my channel. You'll see. I wrote manly man, and then the rest is just boys, for obvious reasons. Now, next up on the other end of that spectrum is I am going to say some stupid shit, complete stupidity. I have it here. I wrote down the worst one. Listen to it. Where is it? Where the fuck is it? If I pass cheese spread on something on my body, will you be tempted to lick it like a dog with peanut butter? You see what I'm talking about here? This is the type of shit I will say mid clinch or during the fight. And that obviously is a hell of a lot of motivation to whoop my bitches. Now, next up, we have me. And there is a problem when it comes to me. Because I still practice chivalry. I'm not talking about chivalry, no. I'm talking about the chivalry of the medieval ages, bro. That shit crazy, man. Oh, what the fuck am I doing to my script? Oh, there we go. So, and that also comes with a side effect of calling women maidens. So that's a problem right there. And which leads me vulnerable. Like she has to initiate the fight. And that's gonna be a real problem because she gets the first hit off me and then runs away. Like I'm not gonna be able to retaliate against that. So I must award the maiden her. I'll award Jane her victory. In addition, for Jane and I throwing hands, knees, elbows, tails, and other body parts at I meant kicks and shit. I did not mean some freak ass shit that I just said here. You get what I'm trying to say. I signed for us throwing fists at each other. That just sounds weird. Though. Oh my god, English, bro. My working is not English, bro. We each have our own hand at psychological warfare. Oh fuck, he must have the rubber band. Ah shit. Straight on my little toe as well. Fuck. Okay, so on Jane's side, we have psychological warfare of being a femme fatale and overly flirty, and will definitely use that in a fight against me. Now, I honestly have never been flirted against while fighting in all of my 5 sparring matches with my homie and 10 street fights. Never has someone try to flirt with me ever, and honestly, I'm not proud of those street fights. By the way, like don't get into them, guys. I don't condone them. Don't get into them at all. Just walk away. It's not worth it. But like aside for that, I don't know how it's gonna work against me, so I'm gonna say it may be effective or it may not be effective. But I cannot say for sure. It's another coin flip. But on the other hand of the spectrum, we have me, who does not flirt. I like I said before, I flirt with armored vehicles. I don't flirt with women. Um, I end up speaking a very harsh Russian and German in fights. Again, my homie can confirm this. And the second part of what he told me is I smile and I laugh when I get hit. Like I'm having a jolly good time. Like you're handing me gifts for fucking Christmas. Meanwhile, I'm getting my ass hit, bro. And I'm completely okay with it. I'm smiling and laughing, sometimes shouting encouragement. Like it's honestly crazy. And that right there is probably something you don't want to encounter in a fight. Because imagine you throw your meanest hook at someone, buff, you hit them really hard. And then the dude's just smiling. That's probably not a good idea. That is horrible. I'm thinking about it now, and that's some psycho shit, bro. Trust me, I'm normal. I promise. Okay, looking at my channel, I'm not so sure anymore. All right, so both are effective against the opponent to some extent. So we have the results and information. But before I give you all of that, let's please take a moment to acknowledge that these stats on screen is actually mathematically balanced. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I take 7 of the factors, which is size, strength, durability, weaknesses, fight methodology, intimidation, and adaptability. And Jane comes equipped also with 7 with defensive ability, attack method, speed, agility, stability, experience, and motivation. And we all come equal with maneuverability, stamina, intelligence, and psychological warfare. Now, before I compile all of this information and try to give a fair um, fight between us, animation is expensive, so I'm just gonna give you the result. Um, is I have to do the math of two completely different philosophies fighting against each other, which means we have tank versus speedster. Ladies and gentlemen, before we're about to present the absolute results of this fight, can we have the drum roll, please? And the winner is
Draw.
yeah, that's right. You saw the result. And what honestly did you think was gonna happen? I literally told you it's mathematically balanced. But aside for that, it all comes down to one factor I did not include in the what's this thing here? Fighting based shit. And that is luck. Because I cannot control luck. Neither can Jane. So and the problem is, listen, if she walks up to me and somehow tips me over, that combined with a police ground basic training, which Muay Thai lacks, by the way, is gonna turn me from threatening her of "I'm gonna break you now." Oh, whoa, hold up. I meant I'm about to make you scream. Oh, okay, okay, okay. What the fuck is this language? Rephrase. I'm going to go again. You're not gonna be able to walk after this. We're done. I am done. What the fuck is it? This? I give up. You get what I'm trying to say, bro? This language freaky as hell, bro. Oh hell no, man. I'm gonna go from all of that literal threats to being knocked over and acting like the most obedient good boy you've ever heard and seen in your entire life. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm literally gonna be like, oh shit, I'm knocked over. Oh well. I'm just gonna potentially just be the most obedient person in the entire universe. Okay. Unless the only way I'm able to win a ground fight though is if Jane lands her back onto my chest and I can just get the rear naked choke, that's the only way I'm winning. But she's not gonna walk up to me, put her back to my chest, be like, please do it. Like, no, it's not gonna work. I don't think that's gonna be how the fight goes. And on the flip side of that, she may come in to try and tip me over, and all of a sudden she gets like fucking knocked out cold. My poor desk. She gets knocked out cold because she underestimated the power of a thigh roundhouse to the fucking temple. Go boom, and she's down, or like at least stunned. So yeah, there's that. But before you leave disappointed, there's a second theory I proposed. I looked to nature to get an answer for this, and I saw that two predators of almost equal proportions come across each other. They look at each other, they intimidate each other, but they don't throw hands unless they absolutely have to. Now, I'm going to apply nature to this because I practically act like a wild lizard anyway, and Jane is half rat, so whatever. And that's the problem here because nature, when two animals who are actually very different species and actually can benefit from having each other around, will actually work together. It's called symbiotic relationships. You want an example? We have, I think it's the oxpecker and the hippo, if I'm not mistaken. Like check up the bird's name, but like the hippo provides the bird with like the protection and shit, and the bird like helps to get the what's that shit called? Parasites, insects off the hippo's back and shit. That is a symbiotic relationship. That is mutual both species benefiting from each other's help. Mother Nature proved it. Like how I always go to history to prove facts and shit, I'm gonna go to Mother Nature and figure out fights because Mother Nature has had so much experience in this shit and she knows. And honestly, you're probably like wondering what would happen if I did fight somebody else and it's not based off luck. Well, let me put myself up against a more equal foe. Jurassic Park Spinosaurus. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not fighting JP3 Spino. Maybe a more older foe.